Establishing battlefield control. Stand by.
Leading the solid war machine. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Now you die. Leading the Soviet war machine. Of course. Bring them to me, just like the old days. Kill them all. Why do we wait? Nikola would be proud. One by one. Just like the old days. One by one. Bring them to me. What? Nobody to kill? Kill them all. Why do we wait? Now you die, leading the Soviet war machine. One by one. Capacitors fully charged. Capacitors fully charged. Need a shocking therapy, see? Why do we wait? What? Nobody to kill? Need a shocking therapy, see? Why do we wait? Kill them all! Bring them to me, just like the old days. Why do we wait? What? Nobody to kill? Nikola would be proud. Why do we wait? Capacitors fully charged, and they run. What? Nobody to kill? Now you die. Why do we wait? Kill them all! Of course! Nikola would be proud. Now you die. One by one. Kill them all! Leading the Soviet war machine. And they run. Of course! Nikola would be proud. Bring them to me, just like the old days. Now you die. Bring them to me. Capacitors fully charged. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Of course! Why do we wait? Need a shocking therapy, I see. And they run. Kill them all! Why do we wait? What? Nobody to kill? Capacitors fully charged. One by one. Nikola would be proud. Just like the old days. Why do we wait? Leading the Soviet war machine. One by one. Capacitors fully charged. The shocking therapy, I see. Just like the old days. One by one. Bring them to me. I feel revitalized. Why do we wait? Capacitors fully charged. Now you die. What? Nobody to kill? One by one. Just like the old days. And they run. Why do we wait? Need a shocking therapy, I see. Bring them to me. One by one. What? Nobody to kill? One by one. I feel revitalized. One by one. What? Nobody to kill? Need a shocking therapy, I see. I feel revitalized. Now you die. One by one. Capacitors fully charged. Now you die. Kill them all. Of course. Capacitors fully charged. Bring them to me. And they run. Bring them to me. Kill them all. One by one. Of course. Leading the Soviet war machine. I feel revitalized. Need a shocking therapy, I see. And they run. Leading the Soviet war machine. Now you die. would be proud. Leading the Soviet war machine. What? Nobody to kill? And they run. Attack me one by one. Of course. And they run. Leading the Soviet war machine. Just like the old days. And they run. Bring them to me. Just like the old days. And they run. Leading the Soviet war machine. Nikola would be proud. What? Nobody to kill? Kill them all! Of course! Now you die. Bring them to me. Need a shocking therapy, I see. One by one. I feel revitalized. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Capacitors fully charged. Now you die. I feel revitalized. Kill them all! One by one, leading the Soviet war machine. Now you die. Nikola would be proud. Now you die. Kill them all. Of course. Just like the old days. Bring them to me. What? Nobody to kill? Leading the Soviet war machine. Why do we wait? And they run. Why do we wait? Capacitors fully charged, and they run. Now you die, and they run. One by one. Nikola would be proud. Why do we wait? Nikola would be proud. Of course. And they run. Capacitors fully charged. One by one. Just like the old days. Nikola would be proud. Kill them all. Bring them to me. Of course. Bring them to me. Kill them all. One by one. Why do we wait? Kill them all. Just like the old days. Just like the old days. And they run. Why do we wait? One by one. Nikola would be proud. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Why do we wait? And they run. Just like the old days. One by day. Now you die. Now you die. One by one. Kill them all. Why do we wait? Kill them all. Kill them all. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Nikola would be proud. Of course. And they run. Of course. Bring them to me. Now you die. Why do we wait? I feel revitalized. Nikola would be proud. Capacitors fully charged. And they run. Why do we wait? Capacitors fully charged. Kill them all, just like the old days. Why do we wait? One by one. What? Nobody to kill? One by one. And they run. Why do we wait? Now you die. Why do we wait? Capacitors fully charged. One by one. Kill them all. Leading the Soviet war machine. Leading the Soviet war machine. Nikola would be proud. I feel revitalized. Of course. Bring them to me. Bring them to me. Why do we wait? Leading the Soviet war machine. Why do we wait? Nikola would be proud. I feel revitalized. Of course. What? Nobody to kill? One by one. What? Nobody to kill? Kill them all. Of course. Capacitors fully charged. Just like the old days. I feel revitalized. Of course. Bring them to me. Bring them to me. Why do we wait? And they run. Of course. One by one. Capacitors fully charged. Of course. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Of course. And they run. Bring them to me. Of course. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Leading the Soviet war machine. Need a shocking therapy, I see. Bring them to me. And they run. And they run. Leading the Soviet war machine. Of course. Kill them all. Just like the old days. Bring them to me. Capacitors fully charged. What? Nobody to kill? Need a shocking therapy, see? Kill them all. Leading the Soviet war machine. Why do we wait?
Objective complete.